Ladies and gentlemen, now for the most interesting session of the day, the final session of the Assam Tribune Dialogue 2024. I will begin by inviting our esteemed panelists to the stage and introducing them one by one. Our first panelist is Mr. Bhaskar Hazarika, a renowned filmmaker known for his directorial ventures, Amis and Kothanodi. A round of applause. Yes, he's here with us. Mr. Hazarika's work in cinema has not only entertained but also highlighted important social issues and cultural narratives. His perspective on how creative industries can influence societal change will be invaluable. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Please take your seat. Next we have Mr. Uttam Teron, a philanthropic educator and social entrepreneur. Mr. Teron's effort in education and social entrepreneurship have made a profound impact on communities across Assam. His insights into overcoming social challenges and fostering positive change will be incredibly inspiring. A warm welcome to you, sir. Our third panelist is Mr. Nayanjyoti, Master Chef winner 2023. Mr. Hoikia's culinary achievements have brought pride and recognition, and his journey from aspiring chef to national winner exemplifies determination and excellence. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Nayanjyoti on the stage. Warm welcome to you. And our session will be moderated by Sattyakee Bhuyan, actor, director, playwright, writer, and theatre activist. Sattyakee Bhuyan's diverse creative background and understanding of the arts make him the perfect guide for today's discussion on youth icons and their impact. A warm welcome to you as the moderator, Mr. Sattyakee Bhuyan. May I now request Ms. Nandini Kolita, advisor, the Assam Tribune Dialogue 2024, to kindly come forward and felicitate the moderator and the panelists. The applauses should keep coming because this is, though it's towards the end of the day, yet we have this very vibrant panel discussion with a group of extremely vibrant panelists who are going to have a superb discussion right now with our moderator, Sattyakee Bhuyan. Thank you, Ms. Nandini Kolita Baido. And now that we have the session in place, I would request Mr. Sattyakee Bhuyan to take over. So over to you.
Thank you, Tina. Very good afternoon, if I may still call it one. I'm rising on this to say that as of now, being the last panel, I am already congratulating the Assam Tribune Group for igniting this kind of a dialogue here in Guwahati, and congratulations, and thank you for inviting us to be a part of this happiness. Thank you once again from the core of my heart. Well, some of you still know that, is there a timer here somewhere? Oh, there, right in front, with my poor eyes. I'm not a very ordered man myself, but this afternoon, I will try to keep things in order. What a lovely panel. On my left, the filmmaker. On my right, the culinary specialist. And further on my right, the philanthropic, educationist in very young and dynamic Uttam, Nayanjyoti, who's just also opened up his restaurant. And he calls it Ruhari. What a brilliant name. Before we start, let me put things into perspective. First edition of Dialogue 2024, I'm sure, would ignite a flame, as we can see from the beginning, the way it started, and that seeks to stir, inspire, and compel a new generation towards greatness. Here, this session is called Navigating Challenges, and of course, Shaping Futures. In the land where the Brahmaputra flows like the pulse of our ancestors, And where our hills and plains sing the songs of resilience, we stand united to celebrate the youth icons and not only carry Assam's heritage, but shape the very heartbeat of this country. I'm so glad it's happening here in Guwahati. We have dynamic youths working in various fields, but today we're only having 3 of them. Sanjukta was also on the list. She was supposed to be here, but as you all know how busy she is at the moment. And I end there. And the change makers they have been, and they have carved their path not with ease, but with purpose and grace. I would request the lovely gathering here to give them a huge round of applause before we take this journey forward. And I'm also assured that all of you are awake. Thank you very much for being a part of us and also being so bright to stay along. First, let's put in Bhaskar Hazarika, the filmmaker who captures the essence of our culture, a young brother that he is, our myths and our unspoken truths. Well, his films, much like the ancient river, are deep and very, very reflective indeed, carrying us into worlds unseen. Bhaskar, your stories are just more than films, and they are windows to the very soul of Assam. We have then Uttam Teron. Many of you already know the spectacular work he's doing with education, a philanthropic educator and a social entrepreneur. From the small village of Pamohi, not small anymore, he has lifted countless young minds from the grips of hopelessness. Uttam, your work is a reminder that education is not just simply about learning, and it is about the liberation of the human spirit. Congratulations at the very outset. And of course, who doesn't know this very young and dynamic Nayanjyoti Saikia? Incidentally, while we were having a chat over lunch, he hails from a place called Govindapur in Tinsukia. And as I was growing up, we had a small office near our house, adjacent to the same place that we stay in, Uzan Bazaar, and it was called the Govindapur Tea Company, and his house is just besides that tea estate. He'll tell you more. We'll ask him more to share what he has in store for us this afternoon. But on your achievement of being the master chef of the country 2023, and how Assam's flavors now dance on the national sphere. What a huge delight it's to have him here this afternoon. Congratulations, Nayan, and what a delight to have you in our panel. And of course, we all know about Sanjukta. We would have been very delighted to have her amidst us, but like I said in the beginning, she's a little too busy and tied up. Nonetheless, good luck to her. Well, before I start off with Bhaskar, I must also, like I said about the Assam Tribune, I know that that time is on, but I must also congratulate Assam Tribune once again also for tolerating me and improving my writing over the years. Thank you so much. And I have really grown and been more responsible over the years, thanks to the Tribune. And also to the lovely people who are associated with it, the editor-includer, the owners, the young team, and also now congratulating the dynamic digital team. What a sweet team they have. Congratulations, you've made wonders already. Coming to Bhaskar, to start off this very fine discussion. His stories, they have a pulse in itself, but he's taken these stories to a global fora with thoughts that are so very sweet. So I want to ask you, Bhaskar, at this moment, we all know, we've seen his films, we know how it is, but what inspires you? What is that moment of silence that gives you the inspiration to work with these kind of stories that you have?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here and listening to me. Well, the question was about silence. So I think silence is something that it's a rarity nowadays. Noise is something you cannot escape. So as a writer, I think what I do is I try to talk less and listen more. So because there is no way of escaping this noise. So when you're assimilating ideas for a story, it's better for you to just be quiet and observe and listen to what people say and do. And then comes the technical aspect of putting that down on paper, at which point you do require silence. And that's a sort of a matter of you and your laptop, working in silence in a place secluded from the crowd. But the crowd is very essential because most of the ideas for not just filmmakers, for writers of novels, books, stories, plays, it is extremely crucial to observe and try not to, place yourself before the story, as in like the I part of the whole aspect that I am writing this book or I am writing this story should be secondary to the story. So in a way, you have to submit your ego to the kind of story you're trying to tell. I think successful stories happen that way. At least it's worked for me that way. And regarding our stories, my films traveling abroad, it has resonated with people around the world mostly because these are universal themes. I make films about love, death, brutality, and this is something that even a person in Mexico will understand. What is different is that I'm packaging this in a very exotic setting. Not many people, even in India, know much about Assam. So when they see something familiar, when they hear a familiar story set in an exotic place, it adds a layer to the story, it adds a freshness and a newness to the same theme. So I think that really helps. I'm not trying to make cinema to make political statements, even though all art is political. My main motive has always been to tell a good story. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm so very sure that each one of you carry Assam in your heart, but it's just that they work in very diverse fields. And their work resonates far beyond the state, country, and to a global audience. I'm coming to you, Uttam. Do you believe that the youth of Assam are aware of the power they carry within their cultural heritage, the role of identity? Because you work so closely with young minds. And how do you inspire them above their circumstances while staying grounded in their roots? How do you inspire them, Uttam, staying in Pamohi?
Oh, well, good evening. Yes, in the context of Assam, the youth are much more aware and concerned about the roots of the culture. And lot of people are doing the great works. Youths are doing a great work without any public notice, what's called social audit. But in my part, what I'm doing, last 21 years, I started in a small school in my village. Why I started in a small school? I have seen the dropouts. And I belong to a tribal community. It's our tribal community. Even the parents are not much educated. They're reluctant to send their children to schools. Then I thought it may take 2 or 20 or 30 years to bring them in the mainstream. And if they drop out in grade 5 or 6 like that, what will happen next generation? That was the beginning, 2003. I started in a small school, in a small way with my savings, in a small cowshed. That was the beginning. Before that, these kinds of line, I don't know what, before that I do not know, this kinds of work is called as social work. What I think that before that, volunteering and social work is per times like doing the volunteering in Bihu, something like that. But full-time social, devoted with these kinds of things, I realized later. Working with young minds, it's need like a patience, accountability, responsibility also there, because they have a tender mind, they do not know what to do. They cannot realize. So we, little bit older people, we have to give them guide. So this way, I brought them in my wings So we have a small facilities for the hostel. Those are remote forest village where there is no schools. Till now, there is no solar system also. We are adopting more or less 20 forest village children. They are staying with me, feeding everything free of cost. So that was. And how we attract people. We see, we accept old clothes, we accept old furniture, we accept old TV. These things are very useful for us.
I'm sure.
These are helpful. People can give easily these kinds of things. So, like my small work, there is a lot of youths are doing better and better for the betterment of the society in Assam. I really salute to them. Those are like unsung heroes. Still, they are not coming to the limelight, but doing fantastic work, really. In the
I'm
context of
so
Assam.
very sure that they're doing fantastic work, no doubt. Not very many knew about how much of dedicated service Uttam is bringing to this kind of sphere of learning. Let's give him a big hand. And once again, thank you to Assam Tribune for getting youths like them together in this platform, because otherwise, when it comes to youth, we only see them dancing, singing. I'm not saying that's bad, that's great, but otherwise, there's other work the youth are doing, apart from making names in the digital space from various things they like. But this is something fantastic, exceptional. And that brings me to Nayan. I'm sure you're very excited to hear him out, but youth icons like you, Nayan, bear a silent yet very powerful responsibility. I'm sure you'll agree with this. You see that sweet smile, he's agreeing to it instantly. And how do you see your role in shaping the aspirations of the next generation? But in today's world, where information floods from every direction, as you've been hearing, how can our youth find the clarity, the correct direction, and of course, purpose? So that brings me to ask you that you've shown that even a small town boy can dream big and also win big. What would you say to those who feel that they have to leave their homeland, to find success? Is this something that you are connecting with, the question that I just said? And also tell them about the stories that you have when you have to go back home and what is left there. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone. Good evening. So I came from a very small village called Gobindapur. We all always heard that our parents used to say ki we used to travel we used to cross rivers, we used to walk hundreds of kilometers to go to school. But when I was in school, the road was not really good. We used to walk 1.5 kilometer. Road was very dirty. It was full of mud, and we have to cross that road to reach the highway. Then we took our auto or bus to reach school. So yeah, it was fun at that time. We used to sometimes we fell in the mud. Sometimes we don't want to go school, so just
Play around.
Yeah, play around in the mud and Mamur kapur letera gol aji japon waru.
Aji Javon Waru. Making those lame excuses which we've all done. It's good to hear that still exists, in today's world, because we definitely did that, all of us.
Yeah.
And good to know. Yes.
So it was very new thing to me when I went for audition. I was very shy, very introvert kind of person when before MasterChef. So when I went for audition, and they asked me about myself, I couldn't answer what's my name, where I'm came from. So I was so nervous, so scared. So I think that's how we grow up at home. So this is how my life started actually. My parents are very soft-spoken, very very much grounded people there. So I think that's how my life has shaped around them. But the question is about youth who want to pursue something really big. I think they really need to come out of their comfort zone to achieve something really big. Because you can't achieve really big things when you are walking in our comfort zone, actually. So I think people really need to explore the world, see new things, meet new peoples. There are lots and lots of new things to learn every day. I think that's what
I'm also very happy to share with you all that now the world will know that the Assamese diet, the menu that we have on the culinary delights, that's fine, but that it's also a medicated set is now going to reach every household. Thanks to bright stars like Nayan. Congratulations once again, and it means a lot to us. And like I said, what various forms, ways, and it's also for the young people who are here to get inspired, I'm sure they are. But at this moment, since today is a very ordered, extended afternoon, I am jumping to Bhaskar. And I wanted to ask you, Bhaskar, this for a long, long time. And he'll continue. Let's take this. And what do you hope, Bhaskar, the next generation of storytellers, of filmmakers, will take from your work? The kind of filmmaking that you are specialized in, what do you think they'll take from your work, and how do you envision them reshaping the narrative of our land? I'm sure this will be very easy for you to share, but for the audience, I'm sure it will be very inspiring.
Well, actually, I have never thought about big things like that, but I just want to just write a story and if I find the funding, I make it. But the idea is, if you want to ask me what is happening where are the future filmmakers coming from, it looks kind of bleak because what I've noticed is that, there is, our levels of commitment to works of art has shrunk because, of the younger generations. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it obsession, but, with short format content, 1 minute, 2 minute reels. So unless you have that, there's a beautiful word in Hindi called Teron, to appreciate a work of art in all its aspects, which takes time. You have to commit 2 hours, 1.5 hours of your time, and it is, all of us have seen films and have been moved by films. And you will notice that if done correctly, if you involve yourself in a work of art for an hour or 2 hours, you come back with sensations that you will not find in short format content. Because that's like dopamine. It's just a hit you get, and then you move on to the next one. But this is not that. What is happening currently in among content creators? We don't even call them filmmakers anymore. I'm under pressure to create content for Instagram. But I maybe I'm old school, even though I'm here ostensibly as youth. I feel that to explore art, you need to commit time. Not just to make it, but also to receive it. So I would say that if that we get wrong, then art as we know it will not exist. As it is, we have the specter of AI, looming over art. Because I have been following AI for over a decade now, and I always thought that art is something that AI will not be able to do, because you have to be human to understand human emotions to do that. But the way I see it, AI is actually getting there also. In fact, the first attack AI made was on creative arts. So I know writers, I know graphic artists who are losing jobs, losing assignments. And eventually it will impact, the way we perceive art. So like at one point, theater was the go-to medium for art, narrative storytelling for an audience. Now it is cinema. So like theater, cinema will probably also become obsolete. Whatever replaces it, I just hope it retains the core of art, which is to move people, to evoke some empathy in people, rather than just to consume art as entertainment. So I hope that doesn't happen. I hope I made sense.
Yeah, definitely. We've been hearing this over various discussions that happen in this space. It happened and elsewhere, that the digitization, AI will take over and the likes. I'm not too sure myself, so I'm just adding on to what Bhaskar is saying, and then sail on to Nayan. But what actually is the thought process of these challenges? I'm not very clear myself. I am still able to communicate very well without a smartphone in today's world. I'm not saying that you should be doing it, but you can actually carry on a good life without that toy, because that cannot be everyone's confidence in the pocket. So I still think that I have a laptop to work on, and with AI, things are becoming a little easier, of course, great inventions, great way. But for filmmaking, you see, the trend might change, like Bhaskar gave you an insight. So he's planning now to do a play on the life of filmmakers. I'm not even telling you anything further, because that's coming up very soon next year. But with that good note about AI creating this buzz, which actually, on the fear psychosis side that it's creating, that will take jobs, that's happened 20 years ago when the computer came in, and everyone was thinking that it will take away jobs. So that's not very, let's not go down deep into that at the moment. But with Nayan, tell us, what was the inspiration, what was the spark that made you decide that, yes, I'm going to take part in this event, in this competition, and I'm going to make waves with whatever little cuisine. See, our cuisine is, you see the blend how it is, but what was the spark that made you drive this way?
When I was in school, I wasn't thinking I will become a chef. So I always loved to cook. I grew watching my mom, my auntie, and my neighbors cooking new dishes. And what's fascinating is they're using the same ingredients, but the outcome is different. The tastes are different. So it really fascinated me, really inspired me to create something new every day. But when I moved to Guwahati in 2014, I have seen lots and lots of new things, lots of progressive food in here, and lots of new ingredients. Then suddenly that spark I got, I should try these new things, new ingredients, and create something truly new to this our food actually. So at first I always loved to cook. I started watching videos. I started creating new desserts from inspiration from French patisserie or Italian cuisine. But when I went to MasterChef, I have met so many new contestants from around India, across India, and then I got to know lots and lots of new different things from them. What they eat regularly is not actually, we don't know much about them. And earlier we used to think South Indian people only eat dosa and idli and sambar. But when I met a few South Indian contestants, I got to know so much new vegetables, so much new dishes. Then I realized they don't know anything about our region, our food. So when I started telling them, they are so fascinating. They're like, this is so new to there. So then I started creating new dishes in MasterChef kitchen with our local ingredients, with our local produce, and everyone loved it. And then I got my genre key. What should I cook? What should I create with our local produce, our local cuisine, and experiment with our food. So that's how it got a spark.
Very interesting journey. I have only one problem. Since when I had a TV, I don't have one now, but when I had a TV, I used to enjoy initially watching these master chefs. But when you don't get the fragrance, what they are cooking so delightfully, and then you don't get to taste, I stopped. But I would definitely go and jump into his new place. You should all go and make waves to Rohani, which is just opened on the 5th of September here in Guwahati. And please make inroads and experience Nayan's style of cooking. Congratulations. But if you know Central Mall, a very favorite place of many youngsters I see. So Rohani is there. Which floor?
Central Mall B block.
Central Mall B block. I am making inroads in one of the weekends, and I think I will fast from the previous night so that I can relish every bit of it. We still have a little time for the audience, but I thought before we open it to the house for a couple of questions, I had this very sweet question for Uttam. With way education is going forward with kind of schools that we get to see, the boutique schools with digital boards that we all talk about, that we have spent on education, we have digital boards, we have these units, those labs and the likes. But the produce which Uttam has, I'm sure he has a very definitive journey or a story in shape on how he inspires the people in and around Pamohi to still come to the school. He started with 4 young minds. And today you'll be surprised what his story is. Very briefly, Uttam, in a couple of lines, can you tell us that story of how you still inspire? Very briefly, then I'll open it for a couple of questions.
Very short. Nothing. Parizat, the name of the school is a Parizat Academy School, and it is a Assamese medium school. Everywhere, in every village, there is a lower primary school. But why people is little bit interested to come? So we have to add something. We attract volunteers also. If interested volunteers comes, they come. Even like universities and Master of Social Work students comes to do volunteers. Okay. But besides that, I mean, little bit interesting to know more global volunteers. When we see volunteers coming from different countries to South India, West India, but why we cannot pull volunteers from abroad? When white volunteers comes from abroad, now automatically people know these white people are coming where? Exactly, President Academy. Then people comes, it's a blonde hair, which a white people comes, maybe something is different there. That's why people said nowadays, before COVID, people comes and see what's President Academy is there. But we are adding 2-3 things. We're adding handloom. Handlooms we give like a skill program for class grade 8, 9, 10. For those students, let them learn like handlooms, stitching, making the reusable, washable sanitary pad. These kinds of things are we adding. So people think this school is different from other school. Nothing different, but we are trying our best. What we can do best for our children. Nothing unique. Just people think like a different school. But
now, I think you are the inspiration more than anything else. Congratulations that you have increased the number. I was saying that you are the inspiration for getting those people into organized learning. And with that, you could see how diverse this session was with so many stalwarts in different areas, unlike the other panels where it was very focused to one kind of genre. For me, it was a little difficult, so you see this bunch of papers that I have. It would have been so delightful to carry on at least for an hour to bring in the real, the real nuance in the story from all these stalwarts. But like I said, I'm not a very ordered man myself, but I'm still hoping that you will be able to fire a couple of questions. Make it very brief and crisp. Robinda, can you make your question very brief? Because my ticker says about 10 seconds, but I'm cheating. Because we're the last session, we're taking this liberty of your question. You're audible, yes.
My question, very brief question to Nayanjyoti. It's the second time I'm meeting you. Happy that letting us this story. Nayanjyoti, with great honor comes great responsibility also. Now, as an ambassador of the cuisine world from this part of the country, like part of the world, and everybody knows you from that activity in Master Chef. You have a great responsibility because of ready to aroma of the cuisine also in this country. How much do you think you'll be able to achieve that? If we go to Mumbai or Delhi or someplace, we hear about the Assamese cuisine and then it's ready.
Make it very brief. Yes.
So, in recent days, I have seen lots and lots of people are excited about to try our new cuisine because Assamese food is very subtle flavor but very healthy, but with minimal uses of spices and oil. People are really keen to explore our cuisine. So I think we have a great potential to open in restaurants like big cities like in Delhi or Mumbai. I think people will really love our food also. Thank you. Yeah,
Great.
Yeah, it happened.
Actually, my time's over, but I'm told that we can take one more question if someone's ready. Pabuda, yes.
Word is lost. Shepherd অসমীয়াতে গায় চাংমাত এই বছৰটো লগতে লৈ যাবানে খোৱাৰ লগতে
চাংমাটো লৈ যাবা নেকি সুধিছে খোৱাৰ লগত
অসমীয়াৰ শেষ
হয়
অসমীয়াৰ লগত চাংমাত আমাৰ লগতে চাংমাই বছৰটো লৈ যাবা
একচুৱেলি আমাৰ পুৰণা দিনত যেতিয়া মানুহবিলাকে চাংমাই কুক কৰাবিলাকক চাংমাই বুলি কৈছিলে আৰু সেইটো সময়ত বেছিভাগ কিচেনত কুক কৰাবিলাক জেন্টছ আছিলে মেক্সিমাম সময়ত কিন্তু প্ৰেজেণ্ট ডেজত আমাৰ দেখা যায় যে যেতিয়া ল'ৰা বা পুৰুষ মানে তেওঁলোকে কুক কৰে কিচেনত ঘৰত বহুত ভাল এটা ৰেছপন্স নাপায় ঘৰৰ মানুহবিলাকৰ পৰা So I think
How blatantly honest was that?
মোৰ কেছতো সেইটোৱে হৈছিলে বাৰু ইনিচিয়েলি বাট পেৰেণ্টছ আৰ ভেৰি হেপ্পী নাও আমাৰ নিজৰ যোনটো আমাৰ কুকিং কালচাৰটো যে পুৰুষসকলেও খুব ধুনীয়াকৈ কুক কৰে আমাৰ কালচাৰত সেইটো আমি আগবঢ়াই লৈ যাব লাগে আৰু একচুৱেলি আমাৰ সেইটোৱে যে আমি Thank you so much.
I think we've all got it's coming from his heart, so we understand that he's going to take this forward in a very sweet manner. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, the vision is not a dream, and it's the future we are building together, and it, of course, begins with all the young ones parked here. I mean everybody with that. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the Assam Tribune for bringing in Dialogue 2024. I know Tina's staring at me, but I'm rising to congratulate the Tribune group once again and all the panelists who were here this entire day, and also making it possible for us to bring in this diverse round to bring Dialogue 2024 to a close. But the award ceremony is on, and thank you, Tinat, for shaping this way from the morning. And congratulations once again to each one of you for making this very, very memorable for all of us. Thank you. We love you very much. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Sattyakee Bhuyan, for such a dynamic and engaging discussion. And thank you to our panelists as well for sharing your inspiring stories and insights.